Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to getting truly well-informed. We dig into the sources you share, pulling out the key insights. Today we're plunging into a really complex, kind of shadowy world. From Michael Palmer's medical thriller, The Sisterhood, we're dissecting excerpts here.
Right. Our mission today really is to peel back the layers on this story. It's packed with surprising medical stuff, some really tough ethical questions, and honestly, a pretty chilling criminal underworld operating right inside a hospital. We're going to explore how intentions, even seemingly good ones, can just spiral into something, well, terrifying.
It's a fascinating deep dive, this one. You've got this line between mercy and murder just completely blurring. Trust is suddenly incredibly dangerous, and there's this hidden network wielding some serious power. So let's get started. Okay, so our entry point is a patient, Charlotte Thomas, at Boston Doctors Hospital. She's only 45.
Yeah, and suffering terribly. Advanced rectal cancer spread to her liver, just wasting away,
On top of that, pneumonia, terrible pressure sores, an intestinal blockage, heart disease.
The prognosis was grim, extremely grim, and she was apparently begging, pleading, kill me, for God's sake, please kill me. Just awful.
Yet her surgeon, Dr. Huttner, kept pushing aggressive treatment. It seemed like he was just prolonging the agony, really.
And that's where Christine Beall comes in, a nurse, deeply affected by Charlotte's pain. Now, Christine belonged to this group, the Sisterhood of Life. Their stated goal, compassionate medical care, ending hopeless pain and suffering. They talked a lot about preserving dignity in life and death.
Okay. Sounds noble on the surface.
Right. And Christine, after getting approval from what the sources call a screening committee within the sisterhood, which members saw as, careful and benevolent, she decides to give Charlotte morphine sulfate.
Believing it was mercy.
Genuinely.
Wow.
An act to end her torment as she saw it.
But then comes the autopsy, Dr. Hadawi's examination, and things take a much darker turn.
They do. The report shows a critically high morphine level, easily enough to have stopped her breathing, caused her death.
But that's not all, is it?
No. And this is crucial. They also found critically high potassium levels.
Potassium. Which is, well, not something you'd expect from just morphine, right? It's used in lethal injections. It can be hard to trace, too.
Exactly. And it's important here, Dr. David Shelton was the one pushing for those detailed chemical tests, even though it could look bad for him later.
And there was also that small puncture wound on her heart from his resuscitation attempt.
Yes, a fresh one, consistent with trying to save her. But you can see how things start to look complicated.
It really throws up a huge ethical question, doesn't it? When does an act, maybe driven by mercy, even within a group claiming to be benevolent, cross that line?
That undeniable legal line into murder.
Yeah. Especially given Charlotte's suffering and the sisterhood's stated aims. It's murky. But the police investigation into her death? Well, it didn't stay murky for long. It zeroed in quite quickly, actually, on Dr. David Shelton.
And David's got baggage, a difficult past.
Yeah, a surgeon just trying to rebuild his life. His wife and daughter died tragically in an accident. It set him spiraling alcoholism, drug addiction.
He'd even lost his position at another hospital, White Memorial.
Right. And even though he'd been at Boston Doctors for 2 years, clean, some colleagues were still skeptical. Doubts about his stability, his judgment.
Which unfortunately made him the perfect scapegoat, didn't it?
Seems like it. Detective John Dougherty's investigation focuses right on him. His history, the morphine findings, it all points one way for Dougherty.
And then the clincher, the so-called evidence.
This forged prescription, large amounts of morphine in David's name, and a pharmacist positively identifies it as his signature.
Devastating.
Leads straight to his arrest. He spends a traumatic night in jail, total humiliation, and then immediate suspension from the hospital.
His past wasn't just following him, it was being actively used against him. A frame-up.
But it gets much, much worse than just a frame-up. The danger escalates dramatically.
Ben Glass, David's lawyer, loyal guy.
Starts digging into Christine Beall's story, try to clear David. He suspects something's off.
And right after meeting Christine, he's murdered. Stabbed.
Right.
Brutally.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
And the threat moves directly to David.
Yeah, a professional killer comes after him. Guy named Leonard Vincent, the same guy who killed Glass.
David ends up in this desperate chase, plunges into the river to escape.
And thankfully, his old friend, Joey Rossetti, is there. Pulls him out, helps him recover, a crucial save.
So if you step back and look at all this, David's arrest, the lawyer's murder, the attack on him, it's clearly not just a simple legal problem.
No way, this is organized. Sinister. It's a criminal enterprise protecting itself and willing to kill to do it.
Which brings us back to the sisterhood, because the shocking truth starts to unravel.
That whole compassionate care thing, it's a front, a very sophisticated one.
Inside or alongside it, there's this hidden operation, much darker, called the garden.
And it's business, arranging merciful deaths, but for money, big money.
Often from wealthy families, right?
Yep.
Wanting to end a relative's suffering, or maybe just get rid of an inconvenience.
The sources imply both motivations, leveraging trust in the medical system, using intermediaries.
And the sisterhood nurses, the flowers, like Lily, Hyacinth, they're the ones carrying it out.
Sometimes, maybe unknowingly, thinking it's mercy. But other times, fully aware, complicit in murder for profit.
So Charlotte Thomas wasn't the only one. This garden operation had other projects.
Definitely. The sources detail other cases. John Chapman, for instance, died of anaphylactic shock.
But a sisterhood member, Sarah Dewey, she was suspicious. Chapman had apparently annoyed some powerful people, and his church banned autopsy. Convenient.
Very. And it's hinted a flower, Angela Martin, also known as Lily, was paid for her involvement.
Then there's Senator Richard Cormier. Died during routine gallbladder surgery. Official cause, cardiac arrest.
But his autopsy showed no definite cardiac damage. Highly suspicious. Points towards something untraceable, maybe like ouabain.
Which is?
A potent cardiac glycoside. Causes heart failure, leaves minimal trace. And another flower, Jacqueline Miller, was implicated.
Wow. And there was Perry.
Yes, Perry. Killed with pancuronium.
A muscle relaxant.
A powerful one. Basically a fast-acting cure. Paralyzes breathing. Administered by Janet Poulos or Hyacinth.
Why?
Explicitly for a large chunk of his life insurance. Paid out to his wife. Cold-blooded.
This is meticulously planned murder for hire, operating under the guise of mercy. Truly terrifying.
And the person orchestrating this from within the hospital, the reveal is pretty stunning.
Dorothy Dalrymple, the nursing director, stern by the book type.
Turns out she's Dahlia, a key figure in the garden. She's the one who hired the killer, Leonard Vincent.
But even she wasn't the ultimate boss.
No, the real shocker. Margaret Armstrong, chief of cardiology, hugely respected, brilliant doctor.
She is Peggy Donner, the founder of the original sisterhood and the secret mastermind behind the garden.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
She confesses everything, admits she was the one who actually killed Charlotte Thomas with that potassium injection after Christine's morphine wasn't working fast enough.
And she admits directing Dalrymple, hiring Vincent, takes responsibility for the deaths of Ben Glass, even Joey Rossetti later on.
The level of manipulation is just staggering. Someone with that much authority, that much trust, running this dark enterprise.
Built on twisting compassion, yeah. And using the hospital system itself for control and profit. Makes you really question who you can trust.
It really does. So the story rushes towards its climax. Dalrymple gets desperate.
Tries to kill both David and Armstrong in the hospital, stage it as a murder-suicide, tie up loose ends.
But Armstrong reacts fast, uses the defibrillator.
On Dalrymple, kills her, stops the immediate threat. But the violence isn't over?
No, because Leonard Vincent, the killer, is still out there. And he finishes his contract.
Tragically murders Joey Rossetti. David's friend, the one who saved him. Just awful.
And Christine. She ends up in a terrible car crash, her Mustang found upside down.
Severe injuries, fractured wrist, ribs, head trauma, a basilar skull fracture. Really bad.
David rushes to help, has to fight negligence at the first hospital just to get her proper care back at Boston Doctors.
Amidst all this chaos, Margaret Armstrong, Peggy Donner, makes a decision.
She confesses. To Detective Dougherty, takes the fall for everything.
All the murders. Charlotte, Dalrymple, implicitly ordering the hits on Glass and Rossetti by hiring Vincent. She takes full responsibility.
I do that.
Her stated aim. Protect the sisterhood, protect the garden from being fully exposed, sacrifice herself for the organization.
And does it work? Does the organization die with your confession?
Chillingly, no. The sources reveal Dorothy Dalrymple's sister, Dora, steps in, takes over the garden, new codename, Chrysanthemum.
So it continues. Plans for expansion even.
Exactly. The infrastructure, the network, it endures, even after the supposed mastermind is gone.
And there's this other thread, right? Suggesting the danger isn't contained.
Yeah, a pathologist, Nikki Solari. Very meticulous. She's investigating another death. Roger Belanger. Looked like drowning.
But she finds evidence of murder.
Yes, a specific hexagonal bruise marked with an 8 and chlorine in his lungs, suggesting a pool, not his bathtub. Foul play.
And she has a personal connection.
Her roommate, Kathy Wilson, is getting sick, acting paranoid, thinks she's being followed. It hints that whatever shadowy group is behind Belanger's death, it's still active, still reaching out.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Even with Armstrong's confession, is this really over? Or are these dark networks just shape-shifting?
Reweaving themselves into new patterns may be just as dangerous.
So after all that, this incredibly intense journey, what happens to David and Christine?
Well, their bond is obviously forged in fire, you know? Shared trauma, grief, survival.
They decide to get away, temporarily, head to a small village in Mexico.
But it's not running away forever. The sense is they plan to come back, face the future, together, find some way forward.
It's quite something, isn't it? That resilience.
Absolutely. Caught in this nightmare of secrets and murder, yet they find this connection, this fragile hope for healing, maybe even justice, eventually. It speaks volumes about the human spirit, I think.
And it loops back to David's big realization about morality, about mercy killing.
Right. He concludes that, while euthanasia might seem like the right idea sometimes, in practice, there's just no way to do it right.
Because the human element gets in the way.
Yeah. That unpredictable, uncontrollable X factor, as he puts it. It messes things up. Good intentions go sideways. Things fall apart.
Which really forces you to ask, when does that noble goal easing suffering get twisted?
Especially when power or money or just rigid belief gets tangled up in it. This story shows how compassion can become a mask for crime, for control.
So, for you, the listener, grappling with all this,
Yeah.
I'm going to take away is this. Think about how often movements that start with good intentions, driven by strong beliefs.
How they can get corrupted, either by their own single-mindedness or by hidden agendas, people pulling strings you don't see.
And maybe how vigilant we need to be, to look beyond the surface, beyond the compassionate face an organization might show the world.
Because sometimes the reality underneath is far, far darker than you could imagine. How much do we really know about the true motivations behind even seemingly benevolent actions?